He finally did it. After 11 years of humiliation and 4,091 deaths, he killed the man who ruined his life. He watched the future Flame Emperor drop dead at his feet. Revenge, complete. And then Gong-ja died one time too many and woke up in a world where his enemy was alive again, breathing, smiling, completely unharmed. Because his power doesn't just rewind him, it rewinds everything. Every time Gong-ja dies, his revenge is erased, and his target crawls out of the grave. He is trapped in a loop where killing means nothing, and the deadline that will make his enemy truly unkillable is only days away. This is how the hunt for the Flame Emperor really begins. Rewind a few days. A quiet cafe. Gong-ja, a cup of coffee, and a smug, invisible ghost rating his life choices. The perfect afternoon. Then a brown cat jumped onto his table. A cute, fluffy, completely ordinary brown cat that had been following him for 3 streets. And then the cat unfolded. Fur into silk, paws into gloves. In the blink of an eye, an elegant noblewoman was sitting across from him, smiling like she owned the building. The Countess, leader of one of the 5 great guilds, world's top 10, and she brought friends. One by one, the door kept ringing. A hooded figure with serpent eyes, Viper. A walking fortress of holy armor, the Paladin. A robed fanatic with judging eyes, the Heresy Inquisitor. And a woman whose shadow moved on its own, the Black Witch. 5 of the strongest hunters alive, crammed into one small cafe, all staring at a broke 20-something in a worn hoodie. The barista quietly considered a career change. They all wanted the same thing. The anonymous monster who solo cleared floor 10. Recruitment offers hit the table like poker chips. Money, gear, guild backing, fame. But Gong-ja had spent 11 years watching these people from the gutter, reading every interview, every scandal, every rumor. He knew their public faces, and he could see straight through to what each of them actually wanted from him. The Countess wasn't offering friendship. She was collecting an asset before her rivals could. The guilds weren't welcoming a genius. They were containing a threat. Flattering words, beautiful contracts, and a leash inside every one of them. So he smiled, said something polite and completely meaningless, and signed nothing. The ghost cackled with pride. Look at you, lying to the most powerful people alive with a straight face. I taught you nothing, and you're still learning. Because Gong-ja couldn't afford a leash. Not now. His real mission had a deadline the world knew nothing about, and the clock was already screaming. Yu Su-ha, age 21. In this timeline, not an emperor, not a legend, just another F-rank hunter grinding the tower's 2nd floor for pocket change. Gong-ja had already burned 10 deaths just mapping his life. Every route, every schedule, the cheap apartment, the 11 a.m. wake-ups, the afternoon hunts among the tattooed meadow wolves of floor 2. 11 years of worship, 4,000 deaths of hatred, and now the man behind all of it was finally in reach. Completely ordinary, completely unaware, and completely mortal. The plan was almost insultingly simple. Gong-ja covered himself in blood, his own, there was plenty of practice, staggered onto the hunting ground, and collapsed in front of his idol. Please, a healing potion. And here, the last illusion died, because young Yu Su-ha looked down at a dying stranger and went through his wallet first. No hesitation, no pity. The future hero of humanity found the wallet light and drew his sword on a wounded man to finish the robbery. 11 years before the burning building, 11 years before the murder Gong-ja witnessed, he was already this, rotten from the start. Something in Gong-ja went very quiet. The worship, the envy, the last stupid hope that maybe, before the power, there was a good man in there. All of it, gone. What happened next took 3 seconds. A kick where philosophy ends. A knife. And the man he died 4,091 times to reach dropped dead on the grass of floor 2. No fireworks, no system announcement, no catharsis. Gong-ja stood over the body of his life's obsession and felt almost nothing. Revenge, it turns out, is a very quiet sound. Mission complete, 11 years early. The Flame Emperor would never be born. Right? A few hours later, Gong-ja allowed himself one small celebration. a drink at a quiet bar. And that's where the universe sent the bill. The door opened, gray hair, black long coat, an ornate sword. Marcus Callenbury, the world's current #1, walked in and looked directly at him. Here's the problem with dying 4,000 times. It leaves marks that certain monsters can see. To Marcus's senses, this shabby kid was soaked in death, a kill count that screamed professional assassin, sent, obviously, by a rival guild. Gong-ja opened his mouth to explain. Marcus was faster than the explanation. 24 hours earlier, Gong-ja woke up in his bed, annoyed, beheaded by a paranoid grandpa over a misunderstanding, embarrassing but fine. He'd just avoid the bar this time. Then he checked the news. Yu Suha, alive, hunting on floor 2, like nothing ever happened. And the full horror of his own power finally landed. His regression doesn't just rewind him, it rewinds the world. Every time Gong-ja dies, every single thing he accomplished in those 24 hours is erased, including his revenge. He could kill Yu Suha 100 times, 1,000, but the moment anything kills Gong-ja, a monster, a trap, one paranoid swordsman with grandfather issues, his target crawls right back out of the grave. His greatest weapon was resurrecting his worst enemy, over and over and over. The ghost summarized it with his usual bedside manner. Congratulations, you've invented a revenge with an expiry date. So the mission changed. Killing Suha wasn't enough. Gong-ja had to kill him and then not die. Ever. In a world where he dies professionally. Step 1. Money. And here, 4,000 loops of accumulated knowledge finally paid dividends. Literally. The national lottery. Gong-ja knew the winning numbers the way you know your own birthday. 1 ticket, 1 jackpot. Problem broke, deleted. Step 2. Power. Elixirs by the crate. Training with the ghost cranked from lethal to war crime. Every loop, sharper footwork, cleaner aura, one more copied skill in the deck. Step 3. Practice on the target. Yes, he kept killing Yu Suha, partly to refine the approach, partly, the ghost suspected, out of pure spite. Every loop where Gong-ja died to a monster or a mistake, Suha revived and got killed again. The most cursed morning routine in history. All while dodging one very specific problem. Marcus Callenbury, who now half remembered a suspicious young man that his instincts screamed about. The world's #1 was slowly turning into Gong-ja's personal natural disaster. But all of this was buying time before the real deadline, because Gong-ja knew the date. He'd memorized it 11 years ago like a scar. June 7th, Yu Suha's birthday, the morning the tower hands him his awakening, and with it, the EX rank returner's clockwork watch. The exact time-rewinding power Gong-ja stole from him in the original timeline. And the math of that morning is nightmare fuel. If Suha awakens, then killing him stops working entirely. A man with a death rewind can undo his own murder. 2 time-benders erasing each other's moves forever. Checkmate becomes impossible. 1 chance, 1 morning. Kill him permanently before the tower makes him unkillable, or spend eternity in a duel with a mirror. The night of June 6th, Gong-ja didn't sleep. He sat on a rooftop across from a cheap apartment building, watching one dark window. The ghost, for once, said nothing. Somewhere behind that window slept a petty, rotten, ordinary young man, who in a few hours would either die a nobody, or wake up as the beginning of everything Gong-ja spent 4,000 deaths trying to erase. 11 years of humiliation, the fire, the murder he witnessed, the flames on his own skin. 4,091 deaths. Every single one of them led to this exact sunrise. The sky began to turn gray, then gold, and high above the city, the tower's rings began to glow brighter, as if it was watching too, as if it was interested. Gong-ja stood up, cracked his neck, and walked toward the building where the Flame Emperor would be born, or buried. What happens when a man who cannot stay dead finally faces the morning that decides everything? And why does the tower itself seem to be watching this one apartment? Part 4 is already in the works. Subscribe and drop a like. Every like pushes this story to more Manhwa fans, and the faster we grow, the faster Part 4 drops. See you in the tower.